Hey, girlfriend, you know who you are. You have big, big dreams. You want to write a book, stand on a TED Talk stage, be a life coach offering wisdom from your RV in Montana, a cafe in Barcelona, or a beach chair in Tulum. Your other girlfriends and your family, they don't always get your biz savvy. Why do you want to leave your JOB? Because you're a C.A.T.S, aka coach, author, thought leader, and speaker. Meet other change makers like yourself and find out how they make it happen. This is the Big Meow podcast.
I forgot I was muted. I'll do that again. 3, 2, 1. Hello, cats. It's Kristen, and I'm here with Doreen Milano. Hi, Doreen.
Hi.
I'm so glad you're here with us today. I see that you help small businesses get out of the chaos. How do you do that?
There's a lot of different ways that I do that, and I work a lot with coaches. So it's an exciting job. It's an exciting business, and I absolutely love doing what I do.
So what kind of chaos do us coaches have? I can't even imagine.
Well, as coaches, we don't always know when our leads are going to show up. A lot of us work off of referrals, and that's rather unreliable as far as continued business. Once we get a lead that says yes, we don't always have a system that actually allows us to onboard that lead and turn them into higher paying client quickly. And the last piece that I help with is that there aren't necessarily predictable systems for these coaches to be able to deliver results for our clients. And that's really why they hired us in the first place.
So I love this. I love how you use the word system a couple times, because I do think that a lot of us cats, we're creative, we're intuitive, we're inspired, but we may not be very process oriented. I mean, what types of systems do we all need?
As in any business, you need the systems that are going to drive the business forward. So I spent my entire career doing turnarounds where corporations were losing lots of money, and I figured out how to stop the bleeding, so to speak, and how to turn it into a profitable business. Now, over the last 10 years or so, I focused that energy on service-based businesses, and coaches are a large part of that service-based business, because we want to lead with our heart. We want to actually make a difference in what we do. And we don't necessarily have the bandwidth or the acumen all the time to create those systems and processes so that they're dependable, reliable, and produce results.
Okay, I think that last part that you said is like really important to highlight, like dependable, reliable, and process results. I know that you say that you can find $100,000 or less in less than an hour. I mean, how do you do that?
It is a very incredible piece of software I have access to. It's proprietary, but I open the software and I start asking questions and fill in the boxes, and it's like magic. And it just
like the ultimate quiz.
It's the ultimate quiz that actually shows you how much money you're leaving on the table.
Oh my God.
You know,
where can I take this quiz?
Well, make an appointment with me and I'll do it.
Okay, I'm doing that. I'm really curious. What kind of things does it look at? I mean, how does that work? I'm curious.
We have 52 different ways of creating leads for folks. But the other thing that we do is we have 22 strategies that we look at in depth. That's where money is often missing for the business owner.
So it's things like you talk about leads, and I think anybody who is in this coach, author, thought leader, speaker realm, we want more leads. We want people to book us on stages. We want coaching clients. We want, we want it all. We want
always the way it is.
Wave of conversion and traffic, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, but like, you think about leads, it's like, well, do I buy these leads? Do I do ads on LinkedIn? I mean, let's just talk about this whole concept of leads, because every single person who's watching this, who's an entrepreneur, wants more clients to work
Lead.
with,
Yes.
right? Leads.
And it's a process to take a lead from a cold lead to a warm prospect to a client.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's what is it, like 7 touch points? I mean, it's up there. It's not
7 to
just 1 or
12.
2.
But it's 7 to 12 as long as you are talking about their specific conversion equation.
Oh my God. Okay. So now we're getting kind of techie. The
Now we're getting kinda
conversion
techie.
equation.
So let's talk about, what problem do you solve? Now,
What problem do I solve?
what problem do you solve, Kristen?
Oh, I help authors, speakers, and coaches get more visibility using TV media, speaking, and video production.
So what is their problem that you're solving?
Invisibility.
Okay. Nowhere in your marketing does it say invisibility.
Well, I used to have a lead thing called the invisibility cure, but nobody opted into it.
Right. So the opposite of invisibility is visibility.
Yeah, right. No,
Right?
absolutely. Absolutely.
And your lead magnet that got me to sign up and do this show didn't say anything about visibility either. So understanding what the problem is that they have, that they really don't want,
Right.
right? And understanding what the solution is that they don't have, but you can easily manifest for them. Right?
I love it. It's kind of this, what I think is so really cool about you, Doreen, is it's so hidden in plain sight. It's kind of like, I think sometimes we get so creative and so intuitive and so clever that we miss stating the obvious.
The
And I
simple
talk
stuff.
about this. It's like, oh, and by the way, it is just this too, right? So,
Right.
I mean,
So
how can we give some
those two
entrepreneurs some
pieces
advice?
come
Yeah.
together, right? And the next piece is education,
Right.
right? Because the buyer's journey means that you have to educate that prospective client into how to get the best out of you or your services.
I love it. I love it. So what are some practical things? Like if we were, like if we want to just dial it in a little bit more, give us entrepreneurs just a few strategies just to get a little bit more clarity.
Okay, so let's look at my 30-second intro that I give when I go out networking. Hi, my name is Doreen Milano, and I am a net revenue strategist. What that means is I can, in 60 minutes or less, find a minimum of $100,000 of recurring annual income in your business without you having to spend an additional dollar on marketing or advertising. If you want to know more, see me.
I love it. I mean, that's amazing. What an incredible promise, right? Like, because I think really, if we're honest, like the average life coach that's out there is barely breaking 50,000. I mean, that's true. Those are the stats. It's not very successful unless you're
But the reality of a life
and
coach
packaging
versus
it
a
and
business
putting
coach,
offers out there.
we're all talking the same language. We're all doing the same thing.
Right.
Right? Whether you're a life coach or a business coach, it starts with the owner and their mindset and what their belief about themselves and their business is.
That is so true. I just think that so it's really important also to have a mindset shift. So do you have a mantra that kind of carries you and your mindset forward? What's your philosophy?
I'm willing to do anything once.
Yeah.
And then I'll decide if I do
Bungee
it.
jumping.
Yeah. So there's nothing I'm not going to take on. I will take on any project. I may only do it once, but my goal is to be a lifelong learner. And that doesn't mean that I sit behind a computer at a desk and do nothing.
Right.
That means that I'm out talking to people, I'm taking on challenges, I'm doing things that I've never done before. And through that process, sometimes I win, sometimes I lose, sometimes I fail miserably. But that whole process is teaching me a lot.
So Doreen, who inspires you?
Actually, my family did, still does. even though most of them are passed on. But I grew up in a big entrepreneurial family. And by the time I was 18, I was running 3 of the family corporations.
Wow.
Until they decided to divest. And when they did that, then I went to work in corporate America and found out I had this talent for doing corporate turnarounds. And so I did that for a number of years. And what I have to tell you is that their core value that they instilled in me still drives me today. And
I
that,
love what you, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
that's okay.
I love what you said about the small businesses. You know, it's like we all have these small businesses, and so do the same turnaround principles work for small businesses?
Yes, they do. But you have to be willing to focus. You have to be willing to know your numbers. You can't be embarrassed about your lack of revenue or your lack of profits. You have to go beyond that embarrassment and get help to get to what you need to do to turn that around.
I think one of the things that is important for coaches is, and I'm talking about coaches right now because, you know, they have these online courses and things like that, is that, you know, first of all, coming out of the pandemic, okay, a lot of businesses have had to reinvent themselves. The world has changed.
Absolutely.
People's interests, the kind of things they want to pursue. I've noticed it myself. I've been in business for 15 years. Like, it's a different world out there.
It is.
I've been spending the whole first quarter like redesigning. That's even what this C.A.T.S network is about, you know, building this community of like-minded women, because the world has made a pretty
It's not the same.
dramatic pivot. Okay.
Yeah, it's not the same.
So with that in mind, and that coaches need to change, how do you know what to keep and what to change?
Start with your core vision.
Mhm.
My core vision has never changed, and it will not change because it's as true today as it was the day that I created it. And that is based in what my family taught me. That healthy, profitable businesses create healthy communities.
Mhm. I agree with that.
And so my goal is to touch 10,000 businesses and make them healthy and profitable.
Well, a lot of us coaches, we employ a lot of different people. We use all different kinds of services and
That's
give
right,
other
we
people
do.
revenue. I mean, the successful coaches all have teams and people who
Yeah.
help them. And it's that whole gig economy and everything else. I mean, we've got probably 20 different people that we hire to do stuff, you know, through my agency. So I know that, you know, even during the pandemic, we kept a lot of people paid and fed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I kept a lot of clients fat and happy.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. I love it. So what's next for you?
What's next for me is I believe that coaches need more help than they're getting.
Mhm.
So I have got a system for coaches that I'm looking to find a few really elite coaches to come and play. And we will provide them with leads and we'll provide them with the systems and processes that they need to make their business sing.
I love it. That sounds amazing. So how do we find you?
You find me in a lot of places. Because of COVID, I had to change some of what I was doing in my business. So there's a TV show called Big Ideas Small Business TV with Doreen Milano.
I love it. That's fantastic.
It's on Rumble. It's on YouTube. You can find it anywhere. It is part of the OBBM network. It's now syndicated on the parts of the East Coast. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Google. I mean, you can find me just Google my name and you'll find me.
Wonderful. Well, Doreen, thank you so much for being a guest on the Big Meow. Very fascinating. You'll be hearing from me.
Well, good. I'd love to do the $100,000 challenge with you.
Oh, I'm all over that, girl.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Have a blessed day.
Thanks for listening to the Big Meow podcast, sponsored by C.A.T.S Network. If you liked what you heard, please take a moment to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends. You can also join our network filled with positivity and possibility. Visit www.catsnetworking.com to join us and learn more, together with your magical, motivated, and mystical new friends at C.A.T.S Network. Let's transform 1 million lives with your message. Are you feeling isolated, sitting at home in your PJs? Or perhaps you're tired of the comfy sweatpants with holes in them that are hidden just below the camera? I mean, you could puke at the thought of another day of Zoom meetings and reporting to your BOSS. Do you want freedom from your home office desk or the office cubicle? Do you want freedom from your current career? Or are you frustrated that your online biz dreams are going nowhere? It's all too overwhelming. Where do you start? All the tech, the choices, and your message. Yep, I said your message, your brand, your voice. What is it? Do you even know what that means? Do you need a biz coach but don't want to invest the big bucks? Let's face it, being a solopreneur is lonely, but you don't have to do it alone. And here's a solution. Join C.A.T.S Network. C.A.T.S Network is a woman-only membership community exclusively available to you, the life coach or executive coach, the author, the thought leader, or the public speaker. If you identify with this list or want to work on adding some of these to your skill set, C.A.T.S is the place for you. Check us out at www.catsnetworking.com. That's C.A.T.S networking.com. Because let's face it, cats are better together.